I'm here with Miami head golf coach Zach Cedric for a weekly press conference. Coach, you guys went 3 under par rounds at Quill Valley. What was working for you guys and what wasn't working for you guys?
I know we were prepared to be in that type of tournament. Scores historically have been very low, and that was something I felt like we were prepared for. The guys didn't seem overwhelmed by that. It takes a certain level of patience, even though it sounds a little odd to say you're making a lot of birdies. It takes a certain level of patience if you're not necessarily getting on that run to stay in the moment, stick to your game plan, and do the things you need to do to give yourself as many chances as you can. So in that regard, I was really happy with our just that the vibe we had about going into that kind of tournament, because I remember an event in particular last year that turned into a little bit of a shootout, and we were frankly pretty overwhelmed by it. So the main thing, honestly, and I know I've said it a lot, obviously I'm not doing a good enough job getting them ready for it, is our par 5 scoring was a big time liability. To give you a little context, and granted they played them amazingly well, I think Notre Dame was leading the tournament at 29 under after the first 36 holes, and we were 9 under. Yet their 4 counters played the par 3s and 4s only 2 shots better than us. So that's a big gap. We played them better the last day. I think we counted 7 under on the par 5s, but that on that golf course with that set of par 5s, they're the 4 easiest holes on the golf course. That's the minimum we should play them under. It's very conservative to say that we gave 10 to 12 shots to the field on those holes alone. So that was definitely the big thing that stuck out there. But I was pleased with our finish. Honestly, we were not scoring very well the last day. We had a couple guys that were playing well, not getting a lot out of it. We had a couple guys that were struggling a little and just really doing their best to hang in there. But I think the way we finished, we had 2 guys birdie 7, we had 3 guys birdie 9. So to be 5 under in that last little stretch, eight's a really good par 3. It's there's 2 holes that can kind of get you out there, and that's one of them. Making all pars there was great. So the finish, I think, like I talked about last week, just having a greater sense of optimism, something good's always around the corner, that really showed up that last day as we were finishing the round out. So that was definitely good to see. But we've definitely got to clean up this par 5 scoring for sure.
So like you said, you talked about par 5 scoring. Is there anything you can do in this next week to sort of improve that with preparation or anything?
Yeah, and we did something to address it, to focus on it. One thing that I've really learned and has become clear to me is we do a lot of pressure-based stuff, but there's a difference between doing something that's challenging and knowing there's a finish line no matter how well or poorly you perform, versus doing something where you're not done until you attain this goal. And I've seen a difference in how we perform when the guys show up and it's like, okay, I have to meet this certain benchmark or I'm not done. And last week when we placed a greater emphasis on basically 60 to 130 yards and shots around the green, we played 9 holes Monday and 9 holes Wednesday, and there were consequences tied to it, but it wasn't quite that, hey, at the end of the day, they knew they were only playing 9 holes. Well, the drill we're doing this go-around before the Bahamas, certainly they could finish it on Friday. It's very doable and attainable. But there's also a chance that we could have some guys doing it Tuesday afternoon still before we leave. So that's it's going to be there's a heightened sense of investment when you know that like the thing you're doing, you're not done until you get it done. So I'm excited to see how we perform. It's definitely going to be a focus on par 5 scoring, but you're going to be hitting every club in the bag. We'll still kind of stay a little focused on the par 3s, but it's about being just a little more thoughtful with how you're strategically playing the holes, but then it's just an element of there's so many situations, not just on the par 5s, but in golf, where you have an opportunity to turn 3 shots into 2. And overall we can still do a little better job of that.
So you guys have one tournament left of the fall season. Is there any sort of sense of an identity of this team forming for you?
We're getting there. We have a lot of guys that they love being on a team. I think at times everyone's a little deferential, and I don't really mean that in a negative way, but we haven't within the team. I think there are opportunities for different people to step up in different situations to lead in a certain situation, and that's something we're still working through a little bit. We have guys with the capability of it, guys that want that, but it's kind of taking that step and doing it. I think as far as that overall identity, we're definitely making strides. This is an important. I always say this. But this is an important 12 days for us, because this is kind of the taste you're going to have in your mouth about your fall until February. So, and that was something I went and talked to the guys about at the lift this morning, is what, if there's things that you think that are important for you to play your best, then we just need to make sure we're doing them all the time. We're playing well most of the time at tournaments. And consequently, guys are also doing the things that they need to do to prepare to play their best from a process standpoint most of the time at home. So if we can level up a little bit, make sure that and we're not going to be perfect, but if we're really hyper focused on, okay, this is something that, I need to be doing to set myself up to play my best, don't wait until you get to the tournament site. Make that a focus at home. So it's, if we can level that up a little bit, we'll be in great shape. Like I said, as far as the identity goes, we're definitely getting there. And the one thing that I'll say is, I think, we were paired with a team that was ranked 25th in the country on Monday, and I think their eyes were open to the fact that they're not a better team than us. They're just playing better golf than us. And I've pointed out different examples over time, but actually playing 18 holes with a team that was ranked 25th in the country and beating them that day and for the week, and us not really playing our best golf or playing close to our best golf, I think that has changed their perspective in a positive way about where they fit in the grand scheme of things.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.